York's classic rock, Q1043. And Mike Campbell is with us this morning here on New York's classic rock, Q104.3. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for getting up so early in California to speak with us.
You're welcome.
I was absolutely in awe of your awesome home studio when I was watching the video for your new song, Lockdown.
With a
Wow.
kitchen.
Is it great?
It is a joy to have this man cave, as they say.
Yeah, but think back to when you were playing the guitar with a little amp, dreaming about the future. Who knew that you'd be able to write at home, create such magnificent art?
Technology has just changed by leaps and bounds with home studios over the last 10, 20 years.
Now, I noticed on the wall, I didn't see the entire, I just saw the word knobs. I'm assuming that it was Dirty Knobs.
Yes.
And that it was a poster or sign that you had there.
Yeah, it's an old poster.
And there was supposed to be a Dirty Knobs tour. That's one of your bands. And
that's right. The Dirty Knobs is my band. We've had a. It's interesting because we made this really great record and we were ready to tour and go out. And then I got this Fleetwood Mac project, and that took a year and a half. And then we finished the record. We had a tour all booked. It was all sold out, and the record was ready to go. And then the pandemic hit, and so we pushed the release back to September and maybe some dates then or next year, depending on the climate.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, how did you get the name Dirty Knobs?
It's just real simple. We were in the studio one day, and the engineer reached up to turn a knob, and it went. And he said, "Oh, it's a dirty knob." And I said, "That's us. We're the Dirty Knobs."
Yeah, but you're not allowed to touch dirty knobs anymore. You're supposed to stay away from dirty knobs. You have to sterilize the knobs and wipe.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, put on your gloves first. Yeah.
Yes. You can't touch the dirty knobs without your gloves on, or rubber gloves, as you referred to them in the video for Lockdown. Now, your wife was the videographer.
She did a great job. She actually helped me because we're just here at the house, and I was recording my demo, and she came in and helped me push a few buttons. And then it was, I do songs all the time and just set them aside. And she said, "This one's really timely. We should do something with it." So it was all her impetus to make a charity out of it and do a video. And so she got out the GoPro, and we threw some stuff together, sent it off to a editing place, and they put it together for us. So it's really all her, energy.
But it looks great. I mean, it's all you. She's the videographer. It wasn't that long ago, Mike, when you were with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Right.
When your record label would, take a couple of $100,000 to be applied toward your future royalties because you get charged for it. To make a video, and now you and your wife can make one in your own house. That's great.
Well, that's what I mean. The world is changing. Originally my thought was if the technology existed to have the Dirty Knobs perform the song with me, but we couldn't get that together because of syncing and all that. So I just did it myself. But I would have rather have had them all, play with me.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't be in the same room right now, so that's what you get.
In your mind, is it a Dirty Knobs song?
Oh, yeah. Everything I do now is tailored toward the Dirty Knobs. And it sounds like the way we play,
Mm-hmm.
How are you holding up with the lockdown? What are you doing to entertain yourself? Like, what are you watching on TV?
Good question. Well, we watch a lot of Netflix series. We've gone through them all. Every night, we have TV movie time, and Bloodlines and Outlander, and of course Game of Thrones. That's over now, but we watch all the latest dramas that come out. We were watching one last night that was really good. Oh, it's called Run. We started one called Run last night. That's really interesting.
Haven't heard of that. Is that on Netflix?
It's on HBO, I think. And it's got the girl. The main actress is the girl from Nurse Jackie, the assistant nurse that was in that
Oh
show.
yeah, I did hear about that. And she was the best. She was one of the best things in Nurse Jackie.
She is a great actress, and it's a really interesting thesis. It's not what you would. I thought it was going to be some kind of CIA on the run terrorist thing, but it's really just kind of a love story. It's very interesting and unique. Aside from that, I have I'm home. I don't go anywhere except I walk the dogs with my mask on around the block every day.
How many dogs do you have?
Right now I have 4.
Wow.
And my wife used to have a dog daycare business, so we've always had a lot of dogs around.
Oh.
And aside from that, I come in the studio every day and try to write or record. The great thing about the studio is if I get an idea for a song, I can kind of realize it really quickly what it would sound like as a record. So that keeps me occupied. I try to read when I can, but just trying to, wait it out and not watch too much news.
It always amazes me looking back at, your upbringing there in Florida.
Yeah.
How you and Tom Petty and Don Felder and Stephen Stills, like, all came from the same place.
Yeah, was there something in the water or something?
Yeah, I think there's something in the water. And Derek Trucks, I think, is from Jacksonville. And, of course, Leonard Skinner and all those guys. I don't know. Tom used to say it must be something in the water. There's guitar players everywhere down here.
Yeah, I just remember, Don Felder telling us the story of how he was Tom Petty's guitar teacher when he was Tommy. And
yeah, I never knew Don Felder. He was already gone by the time I showed up.
But when Don Felder went out to California, Stephen Stills was already a star, and he knew him from back in Florida. So there was a sound that came from there. That
well, yeah, and our connection was Bernie Ledden, who was little brother Tom Ledden was in Mudcrutch with us. So Bernie ended up starting the Eagles, and he would come back home, and we all go over to his house and go, "What's it like out there? How do you get a record deal?" And so he was kind of a guru for us to get us inspired to go out to California and try to get things going.
And if what I read is correct, it was Bernie who named the band Eagles.
I don't know about that, but it's very possible.
But now we've got the Dirty Knobs, and you've had such a successful career. I mean, you're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a songwriter. I mean, you co-wrote some of the most famous songs of our era, like "Refugee" and "Here Comes My Girl," and
it's interesting. Looking back over the catalog, I was surprised. I didn't look back, but once Tom passed away and some time went by, I looked back over what we had accomplished, and I didn't realize I had co-written quite a few songs, and I'm really proud of those.
And you worked with Don Henley on some really big songs, "The Heart of the Matter" and "The Boys of Summer," and now with the Fleetwood Mac job. Now that's more like getting hired for a job.
Well, it kind of is, but they didn't approach me that way. They asked me to join the band.
Right, I understand, but it's already there, is what I'm saying. I mean,
right. It's already existing, and I didn't really, there was no recording, so we didn't establish an identity other than just go out and play what they'd already done. So, yeah, I was hired to do that job, right.
Right, but they have such an awesome catalog that you then had to learn.
Yeah, that was a challenge, but I enjoyed it. We had a blast. It was a long tour, longer than I ever toured before, but they're great people, and the crowds are awesome, and it's good music.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What do you see for the concert business now moving forward? Because there's so much uncertainty.
That's a great question. I was actually brainstorming with my manager the other day, and I hold out hope that in a year or so, things will get close to normal again, where people can go to baseball games and concerts again, and be closer than 6 feet in a room together. Until then, or in tandem with that, there's other options for putting your performances out there, like with the internet. I heard about one artist who did I forget his name, some exotic naming solo artist. Anyway, he did a podcast and charged $1 for people to watch on their computer, and he got 600,000 people to watch. I mean, that's a pretty good payday.
Wow, that's a real
So
big
I told my
payday.
manager, let's do that. But it's like a hybrid of that might be in the interim is maybe just do a 50-seat gig, and have 50 people with a high ticket get to be in the room, and then broadcast at the same time for a $1 ticket or whatever under the podcast, and promote yourself that way, and let people know your record's out, and stuff. So there's things like that can happen. I'm not too worried about it, but I think in the long run, and hopefully not too long run, we'll get back to normal concerts, and people will be really happy to be back in that realm again.
I saw today that in Europe there are some bands who were doing drive-in concerts.
Like a drive-in theater?
Yeah, like a drive-in theater where people
You
would
sit
come.
in your car?
They would sit in their car. The band would be on stage, and they would project, on a screen behind them, so everybody.
Do you get the little
see.
speaker to hang in your window?
Well, they don't have those anymore. But here's what they did: they take a low-powered FM transmitter that's set to a certain frequency, and everybody.
Oh, perfect! They put it on the radio.
Yeah, tunes to that frequency.
That's actually a romantic idea. I like that. The old drive-in theaters. We could, turn them on again and have concerts. People be safe in their car. That's cool. Yeah. So there's things that will evolve out of this experience.
We have a young listener in New Jersey who talks about you as pretty much. He pretty much believes that you are the greatest rock and roll god of all time.
And his mentor, Jake Thistle from Paramus.
Oh, Jake Thistle, yes,
yeah.
I met him.
Yeah, Jake.
He's a sweet guy.
He loves you. I mean, when next time you come to town when we do have a concert, trust me, he'll find a way to be sitting there.
Well, I met him, I think, in the East Coast several years ago. He had built a guitar, like my Fender guitar, and he came to show me the guitar that he built, and that's when I met him. And I kind of keep up with him a little bit on the internet, and I see what he's doing, and he's a good talent, really nice guy.
Now, when you have this song Lockdown, which everybody can watch the video, it's on YouTube and it's all over the place, but you're trying to raise some money for charity with it, right?
We are.
And tell us how that works.
Well, my wife set that up, and we thought of what charity would be good, and we went through a lot of ideas. We came back to a food bank of America, because it just blows my mind that there's all this food that's being like flushed down the toilet, and there's people that need food. But I'll get into the politics. But anyway, we decided to help the cause by making this song a charity, and and we sell some Dirty Knobs lockdown bandanas. I don't know how it works exactly. My wife did it, but if you go on the site, you can get a download of the song and a bandana and donate whatever you want. And we've already raised over $20,000 in just a few days. So it's a good cause, and I like being able to help. And I think it makes people feel good that they're helping, the situation.
Okay. And what is the site?
DirtyKnobs.com, I do believe.
Okay. Well, that's easy to remember.
You could have, please check with Lawrence, who set this up, my manager. He can give you more details on it. I'm a little out of the loop on the details.
Okay. All right.
I just do the music.
And such wonderful music, too. I mean, the song is very, very catchy.
The amount of time it took for this idea to pop into your head and then the song to be done, how long did that take you?
Oh, it was in the blink of an eye. I just got up one morning and I thought, lockdown's a great idea. I threw the song together, recorded it in an hour or two, and then my wife suggested we do a video for charity, and it really is like straight from the desk to the airwaves in a matter of hours. Yeah.
So we look forward to the release of Reckless Abandon, which will be coming up in the fall, right?
September 18th, I believe.
Okay, September 18th.
BMG.
Okay, and then hopefully after that, people will have a chance to see the band in concert.
Oh yeah, we're going to go everywhere.
Okay, and it's the Dirty Knobs we're talking about. And who are the other members of the band?
It's a 4-piece band. There's me, and then there's Jason Sine on the guitar. We call him Ape. and our bass player's name is Lance Morrison. We call him Crawdaddy. And our drummer is Matt Log, and we call him Swamp Fox.
Swamp Fox.
That's a name.
Do you know
South Carolina?
I don't know if I want to know the story behind Swamp Fox.
Do you know who played? Do you know who played Francis Marion on TV?
Oh, I can see his face. I cannot remember right now. Oh wait, he was in those detective movies. Leslie
Nielsen.
No, Leslie.
Yes, you've got it.
Yeah.
You've got it.
Wow, my brain still works. It's also giving away my age.
It works very, very well.
Wow,
Mike,
I'm impressed with that.
Mike Campbell, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you
this
so
morning
much.
at
And thank you for
104.3.
pleasure.
the song.
And thank you for making time for me.
New York's classic rock, Q104.3.